Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Today we're going to be doing another archipelago run. Yep. So, yeah, archipelago. I don't think I probably need to explain it again, but just in case, it's a multi-world randomizer that allows you to take multiple versions of the same game or multiple different games, randomize them all together, all the different items in each game and pickups and stuff. And then they kind of become a sort of cooperative experience across different games in a very unique way. It's a hell of a lot of fun. I've done a whole bunch of these, and we're going to do another one. So this one, of course, is going to be Chrono Trigger, which is not publicly available like on the website. Still kind of in development. You can get it through the Discord, along with Tunic, which is also still in development, and on the Discord, and Super Metroid. And last time I did this, I just kind of did a dice roll to just randomly pick a few, but this time I wanted to just showcase some that I haven't done before that I think are really good. Tunic and Chrono Trigger, and I threw in Super Metroid just because it's my favorite randomizer. So we'll get to Tunic and talk about Tunic in a bit, but let's just start up with Chrono Trigger, just because it's the easiest one to jump right into with no other like pickups from any other game or anything. So this is a randomizer that you can just play normally on its own. It's called Jets of Time. And so the basic setup for this, there's a lot of different settings you can configure to kind of craft your randomizer experience. But the basic setup here is you're going to start with two random characters. So we start with Chrono and Marley, but it could have been anybody. You can even turn on duplicate characters, so we could have gotten like two Robos or something. And I have done it with duplicate characters, but it is a little trickier with that, especially with Archipelago, because I think the way that it's structured, you do need certain characters in your game in order to get every check. Like, if you don't have Frog in your game, you can't get certain checks. If you don't have Robo in your game, you can't do the factory to get those checks. And it's not a huge deal, because if you just beat the game, obviously, you release all your items to everybody. And maybe Archipelago sort of balances this when they generate. I don't know. But yeah, it's just easier, especially if you're not like speed running it, to just not do duplicate characters. So you start with two characters, randomized, and then you start with the Epoch, the Epoch, however you want to pronounce it. Epoch. With the wings. So you can fly anywhere. However, you start in 600 AD. The only other time available to you is 1000 AD. Everything else is locked off until you get certain key items. So that's something to keep in mind. And this game, along with like Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy V, it does involve a lot of just like certain key items that you have to find in order to unlock more stuff. Final Fantasy VI, I think, is really kind of esoteric, especially for a newbie to the randomizer. Just because, like, if you get Shadow as one of like your thing, you get Shadow. That unlocks certain locations that may not be immediately apparent, even if you played Final Fantasy VI a bunch of times. So that for this one, the two main key items we want are the gate key and the pendant. Those unlock the most new locations. But there's a bunch of other key items, including like Dreamstone and the bent hilt, the bent sword, Toma's pop, you know, all sorts of those sort of things that just unlocks certain new locations. But the first thing we're going to do is head into the cathedral. And hold on, I already see a problem. Tunic does not block background input. That seems so lame. We'll just close out of Tunic for the moment. Alright, so head into the cathedral first, just because it's a very easy location for you to clear out. It's got a decent number of checks in it. And it also gives you your third character immediately. So we don't even have to fuss. Like many randomizers, especially with Archipelago, the goal is to kind of cut down on the time that it takes. So beating Chrono Trigger in this, like beating Lavos in this randomizer, takes far less time for the average player than it would be to play it normally. I'm just going to fast forward through that. This fight's a bit of a slog. So there is big like XP multipliers and stuff like that, and you're going to get kind of, as you can see, you're going to get somewhat bombarded with like really good equipment. Especially on like the new player settings, which I have here. It's not a difficult experience. Alright, so our third character is Luca. This is the dream team right here. So I mean, we have, like, basic starter equipment. Alright, so everything we pick up for every chest is going to be an AP item. An Archipelago item. Even stuff that's for Chrono Trigger will show up as an AP item. So everything is that. And then what's weird about Chrono Trigger specifically is that you do not actually necessarily receive these items immediately. There are certain rooms throughout the game where when you're in those rooms, that's when checks are transmitted. So you might just be playing for a little bit and then suddenly enter a room and like receive 8 things or something. I don't know why it works that way, but every game's different. So, techniques are also shuffled within each character. They're not shuffled between characters, so Luca's not going to learn Luminaire or something like that. But the order in which they unlock it is shuffled. Either way, I'm glad we got Aura. It's very handy. I'm just going to get a whole bunch of stuff. Super Metroid has, I believe, 100 checks. There you go. You can see we suddenly just get a bunch of crap. Tabs are also in the mix. Those are not randomized, I don't think. Super Metroid has about 100 checks. This game has like 200 something, I think. And I don't remember for Tunic, probably about 100 or so. I think it's nice to have them be around the same number. That way it feels more like a good collaborative experience. I'm doing an archipelago run online with some friends right now. And we just have wildly, like, disparate numbers. On the low end, you know, someone's playing, like, Mega Man 2, which has 62 checks in it. And then on the high end, one person's doing Doom 2, which has, like, 453 checks in it. Just, you know. It just weighs heavily in one direction. Have to fight this. All right, so yeah, I mean, we're just gonna fast forward through a lot, and it's all good. It's a very fast forward. I just want to do the cathedral, grab a few other items out of the castle, and hopefully that'll give us something for, say, Super Metroid. I often like to start with Super Metroid just because it's my favorite, but it is pretty easy to get BK'd quite quickly at the start. So with the massive XP gains and stuff, like I said, we're going to steamroll practically every fight. We do have, however, randomized bosses, which sounds terrifying. But their stats are kind of normalized based on where you fight them. So it's not that horrible. Got lightning. Or we got napalm. There you go. Boom. Done. Okay. Yeah. We just want to fight the boss. Alright. Power tab. Chrono. Make extra strong. Some aura stuff. Yeah. We'll be fine. Yep. Who we fight? Okay. We're fighting a noob. Oh, no. We're fighting... yeah, the Guardian. Great. Balanced around where you fight him, so he will not be too tricky, especially since we're gonna throw napalm at his ass. Oh boy. How about lightning? Nice. Okay, not too bad. More crits. Oh yeah. Breakdown. Easy. Dreambow. Excellent. Alright, yeah. Alright. Nice. I mean, so, yeah, you just get Dreambow here. And suddenly we have a big buff to our damage. Yep. Alright, so normally, only like key checks, like boss battle, you know, key stuff like that would be randomized within the randomizer here. But there's an option you can turn on called Chrono Sanity, which shuffles all the treasure chests and everything in the game. With Archipelago, though, that setting I think is just on by default, because that's just how it works. Alright, so our fourth character is Magus, which is pretty good. We could certainly use Magus, but I like the Dream Team. I always have. I think it's just because it's the first three characters you get, but it feels right. So every chest in this game could contain something important for any of our three games. Meaning we want to check them all. Alright, I mean, there's a few other things we could look at for Chrono Trigger, but it's fine for now. Let's look at what we've gotten. So we got a bunch of pages for Tunic, a Flask Shard, a Bone Card, SP Offering, Potion Offering. We only got one thing for Metroid, and that was some missiles, which is better than not having missiles. So let's load up Super Metroid. Okay, doesn't take too long to switch. So, yeah, Super Metroid is definitely my favorite game on Archipelago. I kind of just throw it in with every mix, just because I enjoy the experience so much. And I'm getting, I would say, decently good at playing Super Metroid. I wouldn't classify myself as a noob at Super Metroid anymore. Certainly not pro level or anything like that. And I'm not trying to be a speedrunner or anything, but there's a lot of tricks that you can take from speedrunners that are very helpful for a randomizer. So yeah, I've been doing a bunch of runs of the rando. And I also did the other day a normal run through of the game, just to see kind of how quickly I could do it. Sort of. I wasn't like trying to be a speed demon, but I was going pretty quickly. And I beat the game in an hour and 53 in-game time. I don't think that stacks up very well, but it felt good. I mean, it felt like, wow, I can't believe I started and finished Super Metroid that quickly. So that was nice. Alright, we have super missiles as well. Pretty good. So we have Morph Ball as listed as early. So we're kind of guaranteed to get that pretty damn early. If not early in our own game, then early in someone else's game. Power bombs. Yeah, okay. We'll do this. Yep. But we are not guaranteed... Jeez. We're not guaranteed bombs Wow, what is happening to my fingers? We're not guaranteed more, bombs early. Why is this not cooperating suddenly? I don't know. I'm gonna save state just because I could die here. Robo's ribbon for Chrono Trigger, and some more super missiles. Not too shabby. Yeah, I usually fuck that up. Hold on. Thank you. So it was really funny though, doing a normal run through of the game. Because it was like, what is high jump boots? What? I was so unused to having high jump that it was just such a strange experience. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I want to go back down. So that was weird. And also just having bombs, like, from the start. I'm so used to power bombing everything. That it was pretty wild. Okay, so that was a trap for Tunic, which means that if we were actually playing it at the moment, and we'll probably see it when I start the game, just kind of hits me. It's really not too bad. Oh, damn it, I always forget about that. Yeah, I needed... If I had 6 power bombs, it would have worked out. So I don't really want to become, like, a speedrunner, like, try and speedrun the game. Just because it seems so precise and kind of anal about everything. Randomizer, I can use some of these fun, cool tricks and get better and better without, like, really... Like, if I fuck up a jump or something, it's not like, oh, fuck, you know, I don't get pissed about it. If I was a speedrunner. We're gonna have to come back this way to get a couple more checks. I need to replenish, though. But it is funny that I never would have thought that I would play Super Metroid this much. I mean, I've always liked it. I had it as a kid, of course. I just thought it was a great game, but no, I never really felt I was good at it. Alright, so we're just gonna go all the way back down. Because this is a check right here if you have power bombs. Which we do. Moon armor for Chrono Trigger. So yeah, a bunch of the checks you're going to get for Chrono Trigger are equipment that you probably don't need, depending on when you get it. There's certainly far more equipment in the game than you need. And it's not like a super lengthy run where you're constantly upgrading your shit. So once you get really good stuff, it's like, okay, now I'm just getting filled with junk items I don't care about. But checks have to be checked, regardless. Money for Tunic. There is a shop in Tunic, and there are going to be some checks in there. There's going to be some randomized items that we will likely have to purchase, depending on what they are. So money is good and important. Ether. Alright, so that only locks, and you have to fight the thing if you have bombs. That's the only thing that triggers that. So as long as you don't have bombs, you just run out of the room. It's not like you get anything check-wise for defeating him, so yeah. I'm gonna replenish once more, just for precautionary measures. Not even precautionary, really. I will BK myself if I didn't do that. Even more super missiles. It is a funny thing with the randomizer, where I very often end up with more super missiles than normal missiles. Okay, so we're gonna do a fun little trick that I have recently learned how to do, and I'm very happy that I have. It means I can always do this check now. These 3 checks, really, or 4 checks, something like that. It's called Mock Ball. I'm gonna save state though, just because I have a tendency to fuck up. I'm just gonna see. Yep, I already fucked up. Okay. I won't explain it until I do it. There you go. Wow, that was pretty good. Second try. So yeah, Mock Ball is based on a peculiarity with spin jumping and morph ball. Where, you know, if you spin jump from a run, you will have, like, increased momentum. So, I mean, I get, like, your spin jump, I guess, is faster than your actual run, I suppose. And, if you... Find a spot to demonstrate. So if you are in a jump or whatever, and you go into morph, you'll see that you bounce when you hit the ground. Like that. That sort of arrests, that sort of stops your momentum. You know, yeah, you can see, like, if you're traveling horizontally and you do that, you'll kind of boom, 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 you know, and you slow down. If you morph, however, just as you hit the ground, you will not bounce, and thus you will not lose any of your momentum, and you'll actually maintain the momentum from your spin jump forward, your running spin jump forward. And that allows you to be in morph ball, but moving faster than you could while running. And so it's basically mostly used in 2 spots. One right there that allows you to get super missiles normally without fighting Spore Spawn. And in fact, there's another trick we're going to be using so that we never ever fight Spore Spawn. So it's used there, and it's also used to get Ice Beam without Speed Booster. Which I don't know. I think that's used in like a 14% run or something like that. Maybe, I'm not quite sure. But for our purposes, obviously it allows us to get that check without Speed Booster. Although I don't know if our settings ever require that. Okay, yeah, let's go get down here and get these checks as well. Hopefully those all drop power bombs. We got Magma Hand for Chrono Trigger. Another E-Tank, that's very nice. So, I don't remember... I tried to do Mock Ball a bunch on some other run I was doing a while back. So I was trying to just learn how it worked and try and do it, and I was blaming my controller and my D-pad. I was like, I don't think it's possible. I don't know what instructions I was reading or something, because I seem to recall thinking that it was like some sort of like doing the Hadouken or something, you know, where you have to like move your finger across the D-pad, moving from like right to down in one smooth motion, but that's really not it. And it's really weird that it works, because when you do it, you can just stop like in midair like that, and even though you don't have any forward momentum when you hit the ground, it still works. And that's what kind of was fucking me up, I guess, is I just didn't understand that. But we're good now. More power bombs. Always good to have more power bombs when we don't have normal bombs. Easy way to get soft locked. Not, well, in Archipelago we'd call it BK'd because someone else can give you power bombs. But if you're just on your own, it would be a soft lock. One thing that I haven't really learned, just because it's for a randomizer, it's not ever needed in any way that I've found, except for that very start, the first one, the second check we get. That's damage boosting, which is when you get hit by something and use that the knockback effect to propel yourself in a specific direction. I know how it works, but it just feels kind of tricky to me. Yeah, let's do this. No, fuck, that helps. More money. I am gonna save state here just because it's very possible to get killed. Even with a couple E-tanks. Mid-ether. Lapis is pretty good. Hey, our bombs. That's great. That feels so nice. There is another check here, the hopper room, as it's known. Technically, with a trick. Come on. Oh, I'm doing it. Thank you. Technically, there is a trick that allows you to get that check. But it's difficult even with high jump to pull it off, but it's even more difficult without high jump. So, yeah, I'm not going to bother. But we are going to do this little trick, hopefully. To completely skip Spore Spawn. This is the spot where you would dump out of Spore Spawn. There you go. So if you stand in just the right spot, you can shoot this block right here, which is a super missile block. And that allows you to get to the exit point after Spore Spawn. And, you know, defeating Spore Spawn doesn't give you anything by itself. It just gives you access to this room where you get this, which is normally a super missile, but for us, it was another E-tank, which is great. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this area. Like I said, there's the Hopper Gate room, but we will leave it. And there is another check down below once we have Gravity Suit and Super Speed. This one as well. Lure for Tunic. Useless. I know, we can do quite a bit in Super Metroid with the limited resources. It's nice. And, you know, the better you are, the more tricks you learn, the more stuff you can accomplish. That room to the left, I need either grappling hook or grappling beam or space jump. I'm not good enough to... I assume you could damage boost your way across it or something, but yeah. This randomizer does have certain changes to the base game, I think. Oh, that's great. Hero Relic for attack. To actually prevent soft locking or BKing. So normally one of those is a bomb block, I believe. So in our case... Well, in our case we have bombs, but it is possible to get stuck there if you use, like, your last power bomb or something to get in. Normally. So that's why I don't actually like the SMZ3 randomizer for Archipelago, which combines Super Metroid and Link to the Past, because that uses a different, you know, randomizer. And that doesn't have all these nice soft lock prevention. So it seems like every time I play SMZ3, even though, like, I know Super Metroid decently well, I get soft lock every time. More money. Gold earring. Oh, that's pretty great. That cuts MP usage in half, I think. But yeah, I think if you're gonna, you know, do the randomizer, I can't really imagine doing it without knowing how to wall jump. That is just too essential. So we actually could mock ball and probably get the ice beam check. But I need more super missiles. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing for it. I need more super missiles. But that, yeah, with like speed running, every missile is accounted for, you know, every health is accounted for, then it's all just calculated. And I think, you know, when you're learning and stuff, there obviously are a lot of contingencies. I know there's like the power bomb of shame or whatever near Ridley, where, you know, if you fucked up or something, you have to go get that because you need more power bombs. Come on, give me one more super missile. Well, maybe we don't need it. Yeah, we're probably okay. Don't worry, we'll get to Tunic. But, you know, we're not stopped in Super Metroid. There you go. So nice to have bombs. Speed tab. Speed tab's pretty good. And I wanted to conserve my missiles. I needed them for this. Alright, 6 super missiles is, you know, technically enough. But I would like a couple more. I tend to fuck up, so... You're not gonna give me it? There you go. I'm sure it'll be fine. God, Super Nintendo leg. Oh, God. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? How I fuck up? Such a laughably easy boss, though. I'm sure when I was a kid, he was like, oh my god, it's crazy. Fucked. I was falling all over the place. Well, that's interesting. I haven't seen that before. Okay, so we're not technically BK'd, insofar as there are some other checks, a few other checks that we could do. We could go, you know, up and out. Could get Ice Beam. We could actually, I mean, you don't need the Varia suit to do almost anything, really. And it's just like, how annoying do we want it to be? So if Super Metroid was like the only game I was doing or something like that, and I didn't have my Varia suit at this point, yeah, I probably would just go ahead and do everything. But we've got other games, so it's not a big deal. Alright, yeah, I'll just go to a save point. I use save states, but, you know, I like the comfort of a save point. Feels right. Okay, let's fire up Tunic. Okay, Tunic. Tunic is a wonderful, wonderful game that I picked up only because it's on Archipelago, which is true for multiple games now. It's a game that I knew it existed, but I really never even thought about playing it. Until, you know, I tried it because it was on Archipelago and I want more Archipelago games that I know how to play. So I bought it, I played through it normally to just kind of learn the basics, and yeah, I love it. I think it's just delightful. You know, it kind of bills itself as like sort of a Zelda clone. There's the fool trap. It sort of builds itself as like a Zelda clone with a cute fox, you know, and he gets a sword, and if you look at like the artwork for it, it's all very cute. And when you first fire it up, that's sort of what it is. We have kind of a palette swap, so normally the fox looks much cuter than this. And it starts very much, you know, like Legend of Zelda. You enter a cave and you get a stick instead of a sword, and then you go on your little quests, and but there is a very much like a dark undercurrent to the whole thing, and there is just kind of an awesome, just like foreboding atmosphere to many parts of the game, and there are like some dark parts of it. And the lore is very like kind of Dark Souls, even more cryptic than Dark Souls, really. But it's just such a wonderful game. I really recommend just playing it normally, even if you're not into randomizers or anything. So yeah, it is, mechanically though, it is fairly similar to a Zelda game. Or a Metroidvania. You're gonna get chess. And normally that would have been my stick, I believe. And, but yeah, you're gonna slowly unlock new abilities and equipment, things like that, that you can then use to open up new areas and discover new things. And there's all these little secret nooks and crannies, and it's, great. So, of course, our leading problem is that we do not even have a stick. We have nothing to defend ourselves. Here you even have, like, bonfires, which reset everything. Alloy blade, chrono trigger. So yeah, we do not have a stick, which means that we can't hit anything. And we also, of course, don't have a sword, which you would use to, like, cut down bushes so you can move past them. So we're kind of stuck in that sense. Okay, I do have that page. So, one of the things we're going to be finding randomly are pages of our instruction booklet. At the start of the game, you don't have any pages in your instruction booklet, and you have to find them as you play through the game. And the interesting thing is that certain pages, when you find them, actually do unlock abilities for you. So one of the pages we have allows us to enter in these little D-pad puzzles that you find on like doors and stuff to open them up. So you don't start with that ability. So that does open up our possibilities quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, it's sort of Legend of Zelda meets Dark Souls meets a Metroidvania, I guess. That's how you could describe it. Which, if that sounds awesome to you, then yeah, it is. Alright, we got one of our keys. Chances are I will die here. This is a very tricky spot, especially if I go for this. That was not useful. Yeah, I'm a dead man. Opening up that spot there gets us down into the sewer or whatever. Which is nice, but it's tricky. Alright, so this is just a first death. Where we meet our fox mommy. But yeah, I mean, Archipelago is introduced me to multiple really good games. Between this and Time Spinner, Wargroove, probably some others. Alright, so we can pop that there. This will give us this check. Black mail for Chrono Trigger. This will give us another door puzzle. Which I did incorrectly. Am I starting from the... I might be starting from the wrong spot. No. There we go. Some of the puzzles get quite ridiculous. More missiles, always good. Sword upgrade in the quarry. Well, that's not very helpful. I don't know if I can get to the quarry without a stick. Plasma beam for Metroid. Oh boy. Now that's a nice, juicy check. Unlike that. Boy, having the plasma beam this early in Metroid is... yeah, that's great. So this is pretty much the route you would normally take when playing the game. This would lead you to your sword. Spring ball for Metroid as well. Holy shit. So we should be able to get them to chop down bushes, maybe. Yep. Thank you. Man, everything's for Super Metroid. I don't think I can do anything here yet. Also, like Dark Souls, you get a certain number of heals that replenish whenever you visit a bonfire or die. So, right now we have one. Money? Honey's good. I know it seems like I know where all the checks are. That's not really gonna be the case. I will miss stuff. I've done this a couple times. X-ray scope is useless. What do we have? Hold on. Oh, no, hold on. There we go. So we do have 4 firecrackers. I hesitate to use them in this manner, because we may need them. God, I thought I fucked that up. Yeah, okay, so that was kind of a waste. Or super missiles. And that's another thing with why I like including Super Metroid whenever I do a run, because it feels like almost everything, every check for Super Metroid is like useful to me in some way. Even if it's just more missiles, like that, those will be used, you know? The only, I mean, X-ray scope's kind of the exception, but other than that, it's all kind of nice. Whereas Chrono Trigger, fuck, die. I'm not wasting a fucking firecracker. Chrono Trigger, you know, we're getting all these like equipment stuff that we almost certainly don't need. Not all of it. Or like Doom, where you just get loaded with bullets and shit that you definitely don't need at all times. Oh my god! Wave beam as well! I guess maybe I'm just not used to having this low of amount of checks in my run. I don't know. Chrono Trigger's gotta have way more than Super Metroid. Yeah, this spot gets a little annoying. Because unless we want to come back here, we have to rely on this bastard. Cut some stuff for us. Or this, maybe? Come on. Yeah. Shit. E-tank. Music in this game is always just so ethereal and haunting. Tunic, so good. I think I need them to clear something there. There's definitely a check back there. There it is. Hyper ether. Not worth it, as it turns out. And yep. So, the important checks for Tunic, obviously the sword is good, and there's actually gears of your sword. There's the stick, then there's the basic sword, then there's like essentially like the master sword, and then there's like a special, the librarian sword, I think it is, or yeah, something like, or it's something which is not normally in the game, but for the randomizer it's there. So that's important. Then there's all the relics. So there's 6 total stats, you know, attack, defense, stamina, blah, 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 that you kind of upgrade throughout the game by spending money. But at the end of the game, for the finale, they basically take away all your stats, and you have to collect these relics for each of the stats in order to restore them to their normal values, and buff them again. So those aren't strictly required to beat the game if you're good, but yeah, for us, we're gonna want those. I don't want to leave yet, because I know I missed a couple checks. And I could go down by the spiders to get another check. No, another 2 checks. I guess we probably should. We'll probably have to die, though, for that. But I'm going to need somebody to cut this. So we're going to have to drag a bastard man over. Let's go to the spiders. Whoops. Snag that. Another card. Those are kind of like your passive bonuses. You can equip a couple of them. And wall ring for Chrono trigger. I could kill these with my firecrackers, but we really need to save them. That's probably fine. Save our money. We need to save them to get out of this area. Drag this guy over here. No, I need you to melee it. Thank you. Clone for Chrono Trigger. That is a key item that you need for one of the what they call go modes, which essentially is a certain combination of items and stuff that allow you to finish the run. So there's a few different ways to finish. So there's a few different go modes. And clone is part of one of them. Grappling beam as well. Excellent. Wow. Super Metroid's gonna be cruising. Fuck. Fuck. That's bad. I got nothing. Can't believe I fucked up twice. Oh, that's bad. That was our best shot. I mean, we got ice bombs, but I don't know if those do damage or not. Outside of that, we either try to just lift the gate without killing them, which is probably, maybe, well, if we freeze them, I guess. Wait a minute, what is that? Oh, okay, never mind. Alright, let's do that. Yeah, I froze myself as well. Excellent. Really winning here. There you go. Smell you later. The game wasn't sure what to do about that. Power seal for Chrono Trigger. And then this. Now, first of all, I guarantee you we missed at least one check in there somewhere. But this, you need to strike this in order to ring it. And we have to ring these two kind of bells in order to progress. So, the fact we don't have a stick, yeah, we will have to come back for that. But we can just climb that rope, and it's not the end of the world. Okay. There are absolutely many other things we can do. If only because... Oh, that's nice. Now we can do that. Doesn't do any damage, but it freezes shit. So that's nice. But yeah, but only because we have the page that allows us to do the D-pad shit. That actually opens up a lot. Like this. Wow, I butchered that. You don't even want to know. Okay. Okay. Alright. What is the problem? What? Am I misinterpreting this door? Is that a thing that's possible? What the hell? Cut bushes with this? Oh, come on. That should definitely cut bushes. It's jagged ice spikes. Throw a man a bone. If I opened up the tracker, obviously, it would show us everything, and it would show us all the hidden codes that we can enter at various locations, which are checks in the randomizer, annoyingly. So I kind of have to look that up, because I have not memorized all the hidden codes. But I won't get into that just yet. We really want to get over there. So we're going to need something to do some cutting for us. No way around it. I like this big blue motherfucker. He's my man. He's going to do some work. Obviously, there's an option to let you start with a sword if you want. But, no. No, come on. No, quit fucking around. Face me, dude. Dude, you're not even if I just stand here. What are you doing? You're supposed to be my man. He's got some issues. What is your problem? There you go. No. Oh my god, he's gonna kill me. He's got the spirit. No doubt about it. Thank you. This isn't good. This was dumb. This is a dumb thing I've done. Yeah, make sure you really lock yourself in. There you go. Okay, good. A coin! So you throw coins in the well, such as that well, and a certain amount of coins will give us a check. And there's going to be a few checks in the wells. And usually they're shit checks that we don't have to bother with, but we'll see. Alright, so here's the creepiest shopkeeper in the history of video gaming. He's even more creepy here. He's not even doing his usual shtick. Alright, so for 300 bucks, we can buy an energy tank for Metroid, or a missile, or high jump. Ooh, that's tempting. Or a full ether for Chrono Trigger. Okay, well, I'd say high jump kind of a nice thing to grab, followed by the E-Tank. I'm gonna spend some money on some firecrackers right now, though. So we don't need any of those things just yet. Alright, I'm certainly gonna die, but might be able to grab some things while we're here. Wallet for Chrono Trigger. Come down here. This is a nice little house. Three checks in here. Another coin. Aeon Blade for Chrono Trigger. Rune Blade for Chrono Trigger. Another door puzzle here. But the situation's kind of hot. We want it to cool down, and I want to open this up. Shortcut. Alright, don't bother me. Money. Money good. Bother me, don't bother me, don't bother me, don't bother me. No, no, don't bother me. Gotcha. Peace. Magma hand. I think I already got one of those. This one's rough. Oh. Yep. It's not happening. It was not happening. Okay. Well, I mean, we can get back over there. We have somebody do the work for us. I mean, it's like playing Link to the Past Randomizer. You know, assuming you don't start with a sword. There's just certain things you can do without a sword. Those are what you go for. Man, I don't know why this guy hits so damn hard. And doesn't hit where I want him to. Look at this. Why do you have to be the way you are? Jesus. Oh, there's another one there. No. Oh, well. We're gonna just die again. Ah! If I would have just hit my spirit, it would have all been knocked back. Damn it. I'm just wasting money here. It's not much point. I mean, we're not really BK'd in other games, so I don't have to keep doing... Oh, this is still gone. Well, that's good. Should have known that. Missiles. It was all worth it. I didn't really expect for Tunic to go on this long. Thought we'd be stuck. But here we are. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. So obviously there's an invisible maze here, but there's also a D-pad puzzle. Great. There's also... That really makes it all worth it. There's also a D-pad puzzle in this room. So if you stand there and put in a certain combination of inputs, essentially based on the invisible maze there, which is... Yeah. Just think about that bullshit. It will unlock another check, so we will have to come back. And another page for the rule book. Instruction booklet. We're almost done. I mean, there's obviously other things I could do, but here, this platform is a D-pad puzzle, and this little nook here is a D-pad puzzle. Delightful. None of these, like, hardcore D-pad puzzles are necessary for the base game. Oh, plus 1 MP. Yeah, we're not gonna do this yet. We have no means of surviving that. I mean, maybe. Barely got it. Plus 1 defense, though. That was really worth it. Even though I died. It was really worth it. So those aren't the hero relics. Those are like the special secret upgrades you can get. That probably have their own name. Yeah, you know what? We'll just end it there. That's fine. That's fine. We got some good checks. Things, I mean, especially for Super Metroid. quite pleased with all that. So, yeah. I mean, I don't remember everything that we got, but it was hefty enough. I mean, we got plasma beam, we got spring ball, we got missiles, super missiles, power bombs, wave beam, tanks, grappling beam, reserve tanks. Kind of got everything a man could hope for. So yeah. Well, I mean, we're definitely going to do a bunch more Chrono Trigger because there's still quite a lot we can do in that game. We barely kind of scratched it. But yeah. As for specific numbers, for Super Metroid, we have 32 out of 100 checks. Tunic, we have 50 out of 302. So there are a lot of Tunic checks. And Chrono Trigger, 19 out of 191. So, yeah. Total of 593 checks across our 3 games. It's a good solid number for us, I think. Should be good fun. Alright, my name is Mangg. Games you've been watching have been Super Metroid, Chrono Trigger, and Tunic. And I'll see you fine folks next time.